I'm in a motel for the weekend. I'm away playing gigs over the whole weekend, so I'm in the middle of the outback. But this channel's turning into basically a vlog of my life, and maybe that's what it's supposed to be. Who knows? So I've given up drinking, and this is week 3. I'm just hitting week 3 now, and I wanted to give some insight into that whole journey and how I got here and why I've made that decision. So I've been on this journey over the last year, dealing with ADHD and getting rid of all the medication and the vices and everything that I use to try and support that. And for me, life is better without it, without medication, without drugs, without vices or anything to try and manage any of the symptoms. And it's better because I get to lean into those challenges. So the procrastination and the focus have been the biggest things that I've had to try and overcome and find systems and stuff to beat all that. But we'll stay on topic with the drinking. So one of the best things that you can do when you decide to give up something or take something out of your life is to remove yourself from that situation. So get away from the friends and the environment and anything that will cause a trigger. So if you're smoking weed, you throw all the stuff out, your bong, your paraphernalia, all that, you get rid of it. You stop hanging out with those friends, you stop going to those places that you smoke at, you stop speaking to your plug and all that. When you're drinking, if you're giving up drinking, don't go to bars, don't hang out with people who drink. Like, this is the best way to do it. I couldn't do that. I play music in venues, in clubs and pubs all weekend, every weekend. And so it's been an even more interesting exercise because I've had to stop drinking. I didn't have to stop drinking, but I've had to be in those places when I'm trying to stop drinking. So my process was, I went through my process. So my process is to, a few weeks out before that date, I prime myself. And I prime myself by giving myself that new identity of, I don't want to drink. It's not giving me any more benefits anymore. And there was a few things that happened along the way that made it really easy. So I'll try and get to all this as quick as I can. So I primed myself, and I kept drinking. About 3 weeks before I stopped, every time I had a drink, I'd tell myself that there are consequences to this. And every time I woke up the next morning, it would upset my stomach. So when my stomach was upset, I'd say, I don't want to drink anymore because it upsets my stomach and I'm sick of feeling sick every morning. And I wasn't drinking a lot. I was only having 1 or 2 a night. And it was to alleviate anxiety symptoms. Anxiety had started creeping back into my life, and it had really disappeared for a long time. And it suddenly started creeping back in. So I started having a drink when I finished the day just to help me relax and wind down for the night and sleep. So I was having 1 or 2 a night, and then on the weekend I'd have between 3 and 6 on a Friday and a Saturday. So that's actually a heavy drinker. If you're having more than 1 or 2 a night, you're technically classified as a heavy drinker. And so I love Jack Daniels. So I primed myself, and I was saying about 3 weeks out, I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't need it in my life. And it'll probably help me sleep better because I drink it with Coke. So I'm not having that caffeine late at night. Then it got to a point, I went away on a conference Monday, it was Tuesday, Wednesday. And on the Wednesday, I spoke to a guy. We were having breakfast at a sort of networking breakfast. And I spoke to a friend of a friend who said, he just stopped drinking. And he said, man, it's the best thing I've ever done. All the anxiety stopped. The brain fog went away. He goes, I've got this clarity. He said it takes about 6 to 8 weeks before you start getting that clarity. And you get your brain back. And then it just gets better from there. Now it took about 2 weeks for that to happen to me. And I didn't know I had brain fog. I didn't realize that my brain was that foggy until I was on this side of it, and I've had so much clarity. And when he said that to me, that you just get so much clarity and the brain fog goes, that was the winner for me. That was the deciding factor that I just went, yeah, I'm on day 2 now. I haven't had a drink for 2 days. I'm just going to keep going. But because I'd already primed myself leading up to that, it was really easy to just keep going, because my identity in my brain was already at that point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So here's the top symptoms, the top things that I've experienced of not drinking. And the first one is the anxiety's gone. Now I actually gave up energy drinks at the same time. They just disappeared out of my life. I just stopped them. I wasn't trying to give them up. I wasn't trying to stop them. They just disappeared, just fell out of my life. I just didn't have an interest in them anymore. So it's hard to tell if this is just the alcohol or if it's the alcohol and the energy drinks that have stopped. So the anxiety has just disappeared from my life. And it just, when I get to the end of the day, I'm not anxious anymore. I'm just a lot more relaxed. And it's one of those things again that I didn't realize I was so relaxed until I stopped and all that disappeared. And then I thought, I feel so much more relaxed. The clarity in the brain, I didn't know I had brain fog. I didn't know that was happening until I got to this point where I've got clarity. And so I've spent the last 3 weekends in venues, in pubs. And it's interesting the things people say and the things that the way society views it. Because last night I got a lime and soda. I went up to the bar and I said, can I just get a lime and soda, please? And she said, do you want some vodka in that? And I said, no, just lime and soda. And then I've had a few friends, a friend of mine said to me, do you want me to stop drinking when I'm around you? And I said, no, keep drinking, because if I can get through this when it's hard, when there's people around me drinking, when I'm in venues, if I can get through it when it's hard, then it's going to be easy in the easy times. So it's interesting, and I've had comments like, oh, you'll come back to it. Mate, you'll be able to have a drink down the line, you'll be able to have a drink when you just 1 or 2 when you feel like it. I'm like, I can do that now. I just don't want it in my life anymore. And that is hard, a difficult concept for people to really understand, especially with Australian drinking culture. Oh, you're not drinking, what's wrong with you? You don't want to drink anymore. No, it's just something that I don't want in my life anymore, and I don't need it. And so if you're considering giving up drinking, there's something in your identity, there's something in your subconscious that there's a reason why you want to do it. If you've already got that idea and you think, oh, I should stop drinking, go down that path, because the anxiety goes, you get the clarity of mind. I feel better, I sleep better. I actually sleep really well, and it's easier to wind down at the end of the day because I'm not pent up and anxious and stuff. I can just read, I can relax, I can do whatever, and I don't have that caffeine in my body and that alcohol and sugar. And I've lost heaps of weight too. Within 2 weeks, my body is just shedding weight now, and the only thing I've changed is not drinking. So it obviously puts a lot of sugar and strain on your body as well. So, but that was the thing that sold it for me, and I wanted to give that to you, was just try it, and within a couple of weeks you'll have such clarity in your brain and in your mind, and you'll be able to you can feel your thoughts better, you can see your thoughts better. There's more clarity up in your brain. It's not as cloudy and it's not as racy, and every step I take, everything I take out of my life that's toxic, whether it's content or television and media and drugs and alcohol and all energy drinks, all that, as I take each one of those things out of my life, I get another level of clarity and another level of awareness and conscious thought in my mind. So if you're thinking about doing it, that was the thing that sold it for me. Just try it. Just give it 2 to 3 weeks, give it a month, and it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. If I can do it in going in pubs and being around it all weekend. And that's the other thing. You start to see when people are really drunk and they've got stains all over their shirt from spilling drinks, and they're falling over and they're stumbling and not in control of themselves. And I see that every weekend, and I've seen it for years. But it's way more apparent to me now that that's not the behavior that I want in my life for myself. And I'm not going to condemn it. I'm not going to say to people, you know, you shouldn't be drinking. If you want to drink, drink. Because I don't want to be that guy. All I'm saying is, if you're considering giving it up, if you think that's something that you don't need or don't want in your life, because I'll never go back now. I'll never go back to drinking. I just know it in my being. It's so good back on being on this side that I just don't want it in my life anymore. There's better things that I could do with my time and with my body. So all I'm saying is, if you're considering doing it, if you're considering giving it up, definitely give it a crack. Just give it a go. Give it a month and see how you go. And it's that old thing, you're not giving up drinking, you're just not drinking right now. It's just not something you want in your life at the moment. And that's an easier way to look at it. So prime yourself, get yourself ready if you have to go down that path, and give yourself a few weeks of leading up to it without, if you can't quit cold turkey, and journal about it, and just notice how you feel and how your life changes, how your brain changes, because it really is worth doing, in my opinion. That's pretty much it. Proud of you. Keep kicking ass. I'll see you in the next one.